We're back on 96.2 Touch FM. It's Belfield at Breakfast, Showbiz Friday, with my special guest today, Beverley Knight. She's going to be singing live for us in a moment from now. One of my favourite songs of last year, without question, was Piece of My Heart. I just love that song. Help me with it. How do you come up with a hit record like that just seems to work on radio and listeners love it?
Honestly, sometimes I haven't got a clue. When I wrote Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda, I knew I'd written a good song, and that's all I knew. I had no idea it would be the big radio record that it was. And when I did Piece of My Heart, because obviously it's not my song, it's a cover version, I thought, well, it'd be nice, it'd be quite a lot of people who'll know it. Again, I had no idea it would take off the way it did. I don't know what the magic formula is. I have no idea.
Is it still a shock when you switch on the radio and you're just listening to the normal wall of sound and the DJ's talking rubbish like I do, and then suddenly your song's there?
It is weird. I've learnt to stop analysing and over-analysing the recordings, which is what I used to do. Now I can afford to just let it kind of not pass over me. I wish I could in a way, but mostly I'll listen without critiquing all the time. And that took years for me to kind of chill out and just listen.
Have you got a lot of rituals before you go on stage? Are there things you have to do before you go out there?
Oh, yeah. Well, one of the most important things, which is a ritual because it's a necessity, is vocal warm-ups, which take a good, if you're doing it right, they take a good half an hour to really warm your vocal up. And then we've got like stupid things like everybody crashes into the one dressing room and they have a swig of something rather strong and I don't. I don't drink. Being a solo act, my band is my band and they're my mates and everything like that. The stories about Oasis, going on stage and having big old bust-ups before they step out. And I can't imagine how that would feel.
Let's talk about the people you've worked with and who you'd like to work with. Everybody seems to love collaborations these days. Who have you enjoyed working with? Who would you like to work with in the future?
I liked working with Ronnie Wood. That was on the stage. We haven't been in the studio together, but because he's, part of the legendary Rolling Stones, you're like, oh God, yeah. And then, so Mick Jagger bounded out halfway through the performance, which was like, yep, that'll do nicely. I will be going on stage with George Michael soon as well, which will be nice, doing a duet with him. And my absolute favourite was joining Shaka Khan on stage. Oh, it's absolutely unbelievable. And I'm waiting for Prince. I'm pretty sure he's been in the UK or is here at the moment. And I'm not with him. It's a shame.
So he's your dream, really? You'd love to work with him?
Oh, I'd love to work with Prince. I'm such a big Prince fan. I have been. And I bought everybody with Prince. So, yeah, that would be my ideal.
What's that feeling like when people you admire know who you are and respect you? That's a bit odd, isn't it?
That's strange. That is strange. It happened with Prince. I was very honoured to meet him a few years back, and the fact that he had my album and was playing it in his dressing room and we were doing the same TV show was like, that is a crazy thing. And Shaka and people like that, you feel very humbled actually, because you're like, well, I used to grow up wishing that I could at least have a little bit of what you've got, and you're appreciating what I do. That really kind of makes you think, God, in my mind I'm still climbing, I'm still on my way up. I think to myself, you start out so small. I started out from absolutely nothing 12 odd years ago, and you build up to a point, and to come here, I know this area well. I have lots of friends, I've got family even here, and to know that I'm playing to definitely the biggest theatre, who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it back then? It's a sobering thought.
If you were to go to the X Factor auditions today, do you think you get through?
I doubt it, but then I wouldn't go to the X Factor. I can't think of anything more horrific than putting myself through something like that. The whole thing is so kind of taken up with looks and, having an angle, some kind of, and the people that I grew up with and admired my whole life, some of them were, definitely not the most beautiful. Some of them was straight up plain. Janis Joplin was not a looker, but boy, could she sing. You know what I mean? that is what I gravitate towards. That's what I hold on to. But I don't know. God knows what they look for. I don't know what they look for.
Okay, coming up next, we've got the bit that I've been waiting for, you singing live, which is where you come into your own. This is one of my favourite songs from the new album called Music City Soul. It's called Black Butter. Back next with a live performance from Bev at 96.2 Touch FM.